I always feel like I'm rushing. Hi, everybody. And then I remember we started 5 weeks late. And I was like, oh, yeah, we are supposed to rush. So if you feel like we're rushing through a lot of stuff, that's what happens when we start 5 weeks late. It was the nature of the hire and the filling in the spot. It just takes time from when you say, yes, you're hired, to paperwork being approved.
It's not just a simple snap and fit.
Bureaucracy at its finest. I'm always nervous to say, this might be a short class. I'm always nervous to say that, though. I don't want to jinx it. Normally, though, it gets I never like to say things are easy. It gets shorter and more focused projects as we get towards the end of this class. The nature of the class is to front load with that self-portrait model, and it just kind of tapers into more focus, and let's make sure we're hitting all the right parts. So we got two more things to touch. It's the nonlinear deformers and animating. I'm sorry. It's the set-driven keys. That's today, and then next week is the nonlinear deformers, and both of those get towards the animating side of things. But we're not doing any sort of animation on the level that you're doing in Paul's classes. Just some basic ways to make things move, other than rig and basic transform. So that's what we're looking at now. So the first. I think this little first half is going to be a very short half, maybe a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. We're going to make the NURB handles. We're going to combine all our facial expressions. We are going to make some NURB handles, make some bounding boxes. We're going to do a lot of tricks with those handles. So there's going to be a lot of technical stuff in the first half. Then we connect them, and then you just gotta turn in a play blast and show the handles being animated. So your play blast is going to be zoomed out. I'll show you how it's going to look. So you'll see the handles next to them, and I want to see the handle move and the face move at the same time. That's what we're going to be doing. So you might be able to finish your homework in class today, or some people do leave early. That's fine too, if you want to do it later at home. If you don't have your blend shapes ready, if you didn't finish that up, go to Canvas right now. And I have provided on the assignment file and under the announcements just a demo file for set-driven keys. I would really like you to follow along with this one, just because there's a lot of things, a lot of technical and then so if you don't turn this in as your file, turn in your head with your file when you are set. So feel free to download this. Say that again.
That's in the announcements.
Announcements and under the assignment file. For what's due, called set-driven keys. So it's called Demo Face for Connections. So you would still have to connect your facial expressions to your monster, but you have all the handles built, and the handles are going to have this. We're going to make a pseudo bounding box, and so that way you can actually you could just import it into your real faces and use those handles. You'd still have to do the second part where we're connecting, where we actually connect everything with the set-driven keys.
So you want us to download that?
No, if you have your 12 faces, don't download it.
Okay.
Yeah. If you've turned in here, I can even see your faces are looking really good. Can I show them to the class, everybody?
Go.
Can I show? Can I show if you work?
Go.
I'm going. Oh, I graded 1. Maybe I shouldn't. Let me just download real quick. I'll download the whole thing. If you turned it in before like 4 o'clock today, I might have graded it. And everything, the grade book should be up to date. Everything that got turned in except for stuff that got turned in today. Let's see. Got some good stuff. I should be showing your work more. I apologize. It's John's Dragons. Reminds me of Dragonheart. Have you seen Dragonheart?
Yes.
Looks a lot like Dragonheart.
The sequels were terrible.
Oh, I never saw the sequels. Yeah. Frankenstein. So Ben didn't separate them out, but he's got a lot. So that'll work. The floating eye. The head. I like how you have that one. He has the back of his head.
So he's got 4 eyes.
He's got 4 eyes. That's it. All right. Good job. Good job, everybody. That's good. That is good for him. All right. So if you have your stuff up here, you don't have to download this file. If you do have to download that file, it's just smiley faces. It is rudimentary. Where's my microphone? It's just that, but it'll get the point across. Lastly, on the announcements, some people already saw it. There's a droid contest from Autodesk. It got launched May 4th, Saturday. And given how we were geeking out over Star Wars last class, if you wanted to enter it, the catch is if you wanted to get extra credit for this class, you'd have to give it to me by the 21st, which is earlier than their deadline. So their deadline is June 4th, and you can watch the Heroes one. There's a Padawan division. Right?
Creatures of Star Wars are designers and makers. On May the 4th and every day, Autodesk celebrates these visionaries here and far, far away.
Thank the maker.
Artists who dream of distant worlds, builders breathing life into the Force, and creators who won't take no for an answer.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
So here's to the boundless imagination of our innovators, empowered with the tools to design and make a limitless galaxy.
Tell me what comes into your mind.
May the Force be with you.
This is about power and who is allowed to use it.
Join the legacy of makers. Design and make your own droid with Autodesk software. Autodesk.
Right. And they have a Padawan division for using Maya, and then they have a expert division for using Fusion. It would say that right here. I don't know why it's not opening up. But anyway, there you go. If you want to do it, there's official rules. The Padawan level, right? Students 18 and above, if you've entered the contest as a student, you'll automatically be enrolled in the Jedi Master, but it's for using Autodesk and design your droid. They give you some assets to place it in and to do stuff, and you turn it in by June 4th. So anyway, if you'd like, just something it seemed, it was like, oh, I gotta show you guys that. All right, let's see. Not an official assignment at all. And then my other announcement got buried, but I'll be saying it right now. So we are getting close to wrap up. We have this week, next week, lecture, and then a final, the 21st. The 21st is your final. Let me say that again. The 21st is your final. What's your final? I don't like written finals. We're going to do an in-class project. You have a choice. It's going to reflect one of the things you've learned in this class. It is going to be simplified, but you're expected to do something in Maya and turn it in the final period. I think the 3 that I'm giving you will probably take an hour and a half. But if you need more time, you can take more time. You can take the whole day, take the whole period or whatever it is. What do we call these things? Sessions, lectures, lab. So if you need to go till 9:15, you can go till 9:15. But I think you can go and take it. It is open everything but each other, but humans. You can look at the internet. You can look at my videos. You can look at Canvas. You can look at old assignments. You can look at any notes you've had. You can look at anything you write in the book. You can go to the bookstore and buy the book. You can look at a pirated copy of the book online. You can look at other demo videos. You can look at whatever you want, just not each other. It'll be online. It's definitely doable. This is the kind of final I give, where I give you these parameters. So you're actually going to have a choice. So you're not going to do all of those. I will have can you do this UV mapping assignment in 1 hour? Can you do this modeling assignment in 1 hour? Can you do, the lights and rendering might go with the UV mapping. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a lights and rendering just because rendering gets finicky and I don't want to deal with finickiness. Or I'll even throw in a little option for what you do next week. So whichever one you're vibing more, you do. Okay?
Wait, what are the choices?
I'm not telling you exactly what they are. You'll know the day of the final. But it'll be a modeling choice.
No, I'm just
It'll
wondering where are they up there?
It'll be a UV mapping choice with some lights.
Oh, I see.
Or it'll be, I'm debating on giving the render part because rendering gets finicky. I'm probably going to throw in the render. And then if it goes kaput.
Any extra credit for render?
No, if you have a render sequence, sure. Because I haven't shown you how to do that. That was going to be one of the lectures I actually had to scrap. And then a non-linear deformer, which is what we're learning next week, which is fairly easy. All right. So what we're doing right now won't be on the final. But you got to do this to turn this in. All right. So yeah. But I'll give you more next week. But it's doable. Everyone freaks out. Oh, project in class? It's doable. It's very abstract. I do this all the time. This is the type of final I give. I love giving these. These are way better than 100 multiple choice questions on Maya. Come on. Practical application. And it's choice. So if you feel better modeling in Mudbox and you want to go for it, go for it. The modeling one's set. I'm not telling you what it is. UV mapping one is almost set. Nonlinear deformer one is not there yet. Because I got to see how well you handle it next week.
Question.
Yes.
I know you said we can't ask anyone for help during the.
That includes texting.
What if Maya's giving us trouble, like some?
If there's a technical problem, I'll help you. Like if rendering is part of the issue and Maya's glitching out, yeah. I won't leave you stranded like that. Yes. Sound good? It'll be fun. My finals are fun. Just kidding. I'm sorry, you guys are stressed out. I know. You guys are all very busy. Let's see. Makeup work. The other thing about, like I said, I'm kind of hesitant to say this. This lecture and next lecture, I think, are very short and focused, which gives you a lot of, hopefully that eases some pressure off of this class and this workload to get any makeup work that you need to kind of settle. So I'm thinking these next two assignments are pretty short and focused. So yeah, anyway. Get that in by the 17th. I like you guys to know what you're in for, what your grade is as you get to the final. Plus, I don't like grading makeup work after the final. Plus, I don't like you trying to get last minute work in right before the final. So try to get all your makeup work in by May 17th. If there's questions on any of the makeup work, let me know. Or if you just can't find the video where I explain how to do that, email me, right? I'm pretty darn good with email. Right, Maggie? 24-hour response time every time? I don't know what the requirement is here. At my other school, I have to respond within 72 hours. And I'm like, psh, easy peasy. All right, enough bragging. Shall we do our stuff? Did you get this thing? So if you were a person that did not turn in your faces, your blends, use the smiley faces right now, because you'll want that for when we get all the way down to here, so you don't have to build the handles again, and that way you can just copy those handles and import them into some other project. I'll show you how to do that. But then you'll have to do this to your faces when they're all done. All right, let's get going. Just to remind you, if you haven't finished your faces, you got 11 to make. I did one short. I messed up on my demo. I made 10 instead of 11. I miscounted, but that's fine. I'll do that right now. Okay. And wide. Oh, I forgot wide. That's right. I forgot eyes wide. I can do that real quick. Okay. Do you all have your facial expressions open? Doop. If you're borrowing my download, you might need to duplicate my smiley face one more time, because I forgot to make a wide, eyes wide. And if on your facial expressions you did something else, totally fine. Totally fine. Huh?
Second one.
They're closed.
Oh.
He's blinking.
Where's the smiley face download?
It's under announcements or the set-driven key thing. So if you just, the first top of announcements is, it says do this. And I forgot to put a oops, that looks too sad now. Let's do a little bit wider. Good enough. Boom. All right. Christo's right under announcements, demo file for set-driven keys. Download that and open it up. Yeah. I just made a fourth one, so that won't be updated on that file. You don't have to have that updated, but you'll have a blank switch. You'll have one spot where the switch doesn't work. That's fine. Okay. I said it last week, but it's worth repeating. I'm hoping you did not freeze transformation or delete by type history at all once you've duplicated them. Correct? Yes? And you do not extrude, you do not delete edges, you do not do any of that, right? Correct? You just keep them all the same? Good. We're doing it the old school way. We're using the blend editor. All right. So I actually like to, this is part of the reason why I like to do it this way. I'm going to make 3 different nodes. So instead of doing all my blend shapes all at once, I'm going to make a node for the mouth, a node for the eyes, and a node for the brow. So I'm gonna do this 3 times. Okay. Just a reminder that the blend shape maker will remember the order in which you selected them. Right? So I'm going to do my mouth first. And now you can follow along. Christo, do you get it open?
Yeah.
All right. So make sure you turn symmetry off. Or you can do our new trick if you, hold W. You get all your different selections. I got another trick to show you today. It's going to be fun. All right, so let's do a save as. Save as. We're going to do a lot of save as today. I even put it in my notes. Lots of save as. Just to kind of have save points here. So save as number 1. Call it blending, or if you want your face, like Frankenstein or whatever, right? Face blending. We're in the process of blending them. Face blending. Okay. Select the order. Closed, open, smile, frown. Original. The original is green.
What am I supposed to select?
All the mouths. I don't know. Try to come up with 3 different categories.
So when you say all the mouths, like all the open mouths?
Yeah. You're different. You apply what I'm doing to your situation. So I'm going to do 1 node for the mouths, 1 node for the eyes, 1 node for the brows. Got them all? I go to deform, blend shape options, blend shape node, mouth. Sorry, deform, blend shape options.
Okay.
And then you're going to type in for that node, because I selected all the mouths, you put mouth. So what I'm doing is that instead of having 1 blend shape for all of the shit, I'm making 3 different sets. Everything else should stay the same, and I hit apply. You'll notice it says mouth right here, and I can check it. One of them will close the window, one of them keeps the window open. They do the same thing. And now I can, over here on the channel box, there's a mouth node. And now I can just make sure they work by middle mouse clicking. Looks like Pac-Man. Right? Smile. And frown. Perfect.
All the mouth open?
All the 4 mouth shapes. And then the neutral face. Ben has a mix of a bunch of different types. And if you don't have 4 mouths, 4 eyes, 4 brows, or 3 brows, if you don't have that set up, because your character doesn't have any eyes, or your character only has 1 eye, it's nice to have nodes. So figure out a way to kind of organize it. Don't put it all in one lump, but you figure out. Was that going to be your question?
No, it
Yeah.
was about like there's the close and it goes from 0 to 1, and I know like in rigging you can go back and forth like more.
You can amp it up more, yeah.
Yeah, is that the envelope thing?
No, the envelope is the whole thing. So if I did like open and smile, and then I wanted to turn the whole thing off or on, I can do both at the same time. The envelope is total. What I can do is actually type in 3, and now I have this extreme smile, right? So you could.
You set it up like normally where that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like if you were to have like a smile and you only want it to go up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. That's gonna help with the handle. Or you go to your blend shape window. Yeah, this is. You can actually, if I go really subtly and really slowly, I can get like 0.1. The slider on the window, which is going to be right here, animation shape editor. I always hate this. It's called shape editor here, but deform is called blend shape. Come on, guys, be consistent. That one has a little bit more nuance, and then our handle will give you a lot of nuance too. Yeah, one. Error. Wasn't my file or your file? If you get an error, you pick half. Okay, those two are fine. You have a problem here. Did you add fangs? Did you delete? Did you add something different? Okay, those two are fine. Okay, let's do these 3. 1, 2, 3. That one's probably one that have a problem. So you might need to remake that one, or yes. So there's something you did with that one. You either deleted a face, added a face, added an edge loop, something. So for right now, just do these 3. If you want to add this one later, you can like remodel it, but just do 3 for right now. What just happened with wands is something that would come up. If you get an error message, chances are it's not every single one of your faces that you made a mistake with. Somewhere you did something. You deleted a type history, you added a geometry, you deleted a geometry, something. You looked at it wrong, whatever it is. So what you do is you select half, right? I get 1, 2, right? And those actually succeeded with making a deform. I hit undo. I did 1, 2, that's where I got the error. So I did that one, did a blend shape, and that one was fine. So then I did that one with a blend shape, that was the error. So then I had a problem with that one. Ow.
John,
Yeah.
I'm a little confused with how to handle mine.
Just have 4 different categories.
So is it like I select a neutral face and then?
No, select neutral last.
Okay.
So pick 4, then the neutral face, that's one set. Pick another 4, neutral set, just so you have different handles. And I don't care, whichever 4 you want to be all happy ones or all sad ones. You got some wonky ones. Maybe the wonky ones are one
So I
set.
do this with all of the groups.
And I'm going to do it again with the eyes. I'm going to do it again with the brows. Or just troubleshooting the mouth.
So 4 including the original, or 5 of them actually?
If you include the original in your count, it's 5.
Okay.
You good there?
Yes.
Good? Adam? Crystal? Crystal good?
So,
Very good?
so we have the nodes for the eyes and
I'll do that now.
All right. I did them all.
Good.
Yeah.
Repeat eyes, repeat brow. Good.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Boop.
Wait, so what are you trying to do here? I'm confused.
So I'll show you. So we did the mouth. So now I'm going to do the eyes. I'm putting in a little extra work for a little organization that'll help us later. And so I'm going to go here to. So this time, Christo, I did the mouth first. The second time, I did the eyes. One eye, open. Actually, I want to do closed first this time. Closed. angry, sad, wide. And now I'm going to go to Deforms, blend shape option, and this time I'm going to call it the node. I'm going to call the eyes, and hit apply. So,
Hey, John.
yeah.
So I got my blend shape option, but whenever I switch to 1, the original face like has something pop out from underneath it. It doesn't really look like it's changing.
So you had. I'll take a look at it in a second. It's something underneath your model that's getting revealed in your blend shape.
Yeah.
Does that work? Have you tried a different combination? Is it one face that's doing that, or is it all of them?
That's one face, the original face.
All right, let me check you out a break. Arch. All right, and then browse. Options. Brow. Browse? Browse. Browse or brow? Brow. Good, yeah. And someone was asking, apply or create. Apply keeps your window open. So it's nice to kind of just keep going through it. Create will always automatically close it. It's a common thing in Maya. All right. That was step 1. The reason why we do it in 3, it's going to be easier to do the set-driven keys later. The other thing is, this is a common practice because what will happen is it's nice to kind of stay organized. So you'll wind up with a lot more blend shapes when you're doing something more in depth for larger projects. And so this way you can kind of collapse and hide or focus in on one set, right? So it's just a way of kind of organizing your things a lot more, if that makes sense, to have multiple nodes. It's a good little practice.
So, how do we get there?
This window right here, we don't really have to get to it yet, but it's Window, Animation Editor, Shape Editor, and you can test them right here. And then you could also, if you click on your object in the middle, the main one, I have brow, eyes, and mouth, and I can also test them right here.
Oh, cool.
All right. Windows, Animation Editor, Blend Shape, or Shape Editor. I'm really mad that this is called Blend Shapes and that's called the Shape Editor. Brr. All right, we can do our hit save, Command S. We are ready for our second save as is. So do a file save as. Call it blended. So file save as blended. And saving as is just a good practice. If we really screw up or notice a problem later, we can come back to it. Bet I haven't forgot about you. I'm going to check you out a break, okay? Which we're close to. Where we got.
I save as or wait till I get the thing.
Do a save as. Okay. Now that we've saved as, we call it blended. Delete everything but the original face in the middle, because your blend shapes are still there. And this is why you save as, right? Window, Animation Editor, Shape Editor. It's all right there. So I know this is different than what you did in 420. You actually did the Shape Editor window and you did something different. This is the old way. This is the ways of the old. But we're there. All right. I think you're about to do new stuff. New territory warning. We're going to make all this beautiful drawing I don't want to delete. You can. We have a 4, a 3, and you need to make a 2 and a 2. Let's make a 2 and a 2. So we're gonna make a switch like this. That's what we call a 2 and a 2. 2 sliders. That's gonna be for one of our groups of 4. We're gonna make a plus sign like this. I'm just showing you our game plan. Plus sign with a circle in the middle of it. And this next one you can get a little interpreted. You can do a T or a triangle. So I like to do this like trapezoidal triangle, something like that. We're gonna make something like that. And this one's gonna control our brows. And this one's gonna I'll mess it up. And one of these can control our mouth, and one of these can control our eyes. This will probably be eyes, this will be mouth. That's what we're gonna do. You guys ready to make those handles? So Ben, you can still make the handles, even though you had those problems.
I've only done 5 of the head. Should I do the rest before we?
If you're having a problem, don't delete the shapes, but you can just follow along so you have this trick done. Because this won't correlate to everything else.
Blend the other ones yet?
Yeah, don't blend anything. All right. Here we go. We ready? Make some shapes. Go to your front view. Spacebar. Spacebar goes to your 4. Spacebar with your mouse over the front. Like so. Give yourself some space on the, put your face on the right. Give yourself some space on the left. And my handles, actually, I wonder if I make this bigger. That's not gonna ruin it, right? Yeah, okay, good. I'm just making my face bigger so that my handles are correlating correctly. I just realized my face is really, really small. All right. Okay, that's gonna be better. We're gonna do all of those drawings I just did. If you can't see them, I'm sorry. We're gonna do those with EV curves. So we're gonna use the EP curve, and we're gonna make a few things. So let's go to Create, Curves, EP curve. Raise your hand if you remember doing a curve tool sometime ever in Maya. Should have used them to make, yeah, okay. You should have used them to make like a vase. I think Paul makes you make a vase or a lamp or something. Similar situation, but I want you to hit the option box. Hit the option box. And if you already started drawing a curve, kill it, hit enter and delete it. Go to Curve Tools, hit EP Curve, hit Options. One more time. Create. Curve Tools, EP Curve, Options. You're going to change it from cubic to linear. That's going to keep it very, that'll give you no nuance in your curves whatsoever. So instead of cubic, you click linear. That's your tool setting. And then you're going to turn snap to grid on. And that way, you'll make, it'll stick to the corners. So snap to grid. Doop. Ask me later what a hotkey to snap to grid is. There. All right, so let's make a rectangle. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see it better. So I'm just going to make a click once here. And then I'm going to skip. I'm going to make a 2 unit wide rectangle. Boop. I'm going to go down about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you want more nuance, Maggie, make it 8. If you want a lot of nuance in your facial expressions, make it longer, because then they'll have more to travel.
My cubes are very small.
It's relative, right? So if you want to make, it's relative. So if they're small, make it 4 by 8 instead of, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be 2 by 6. Enter when you're done. So 2x6 works for me. If I wanted to modify it, I can hit Control Vertex and I can make it longer. If I change my mind, it's still snapping to the grid. So I can make it longer, shorter, whatever I like. I'm going to repeat what I just did because we're going to do it twice. I'm going to make another one. Same exact rectangle. Exactly the same. Create curve tools. I don't have to hit options. It's already set to 1, but I'm just going to remind you. Hit the option box. Choose 1. Hit snap to grid. I'm going to make another rectangle. 2 wide for me. Might be 4 wide for you. I think this is 8 long. I didn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 long. Enter. 2 sliders.
How big is it supposed to be compared to the model?
That.
Because mine is very small to my.
You can make it bigger. Make it relative to your. Good clarification. Make it like that compared to your model. If you've done an animation class with like Norman or Max, I don't know what rigs you guys are using now, but you'll see the face controls hover around their face, right? And they're usually around, they're relative to their face. Good clarification, Ben. All right. You guys ready for the plus sign? Now, with the plus sign, just make sure you keep them even. Okay? So with the plus sign, make sure you keep them even. So I'm going to go here to create. Going to go to Curve Tools EP. Worth repeating option box. Still on number 1, linear. And I'm going to make a plus. This one might be a little bit bigger than my 2 lines. So I'm still going to make it, I'm going to make it 3 wide. Why not? 3 wide, just to be different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. We'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that even? The important part is you want it even. A nice even plus. Can you guys see that green line? I see glare, but I know that's my angle. You guys can see that green line okay? All right. Once you make the shape, you're like, oh, it's too big. You could also scale that down. It's all relative. Whoop. With animation, it's like the Pirate's Code, Ben. Do you know the Pirate's Code?
You mean the literal Pirate's Code?
Just the pirate. Yeah. It's really more a set of guidelines than it is a code. So it's all relative. You could get fancy. You could color them. We don't need to, we're not going to color them. But you could. You know how to do it. You could make them colors.
Do I have to retrace the second one, the second bar, or could I just duplicate the first
You can Command D it. You can totally. I did it that way just to repeat my actions. And then the last thing you're gonna do is you're gonna make like a trapezoidal triangle. So technically it's a 1, 2, 3. Technically it's a hexagon, but it's a blunt-edged triangle. So once again, create. You can make whatever shape you want that's in a Triforce, whatever you want to do. Curve Tools EP. So this one I'll go back to 2. 1, 2, and then this is always fun, math. So 3 across, and then 1, 2, and then coming back here, And then, what is that? 3 across from 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2. Boop. Something like that. And if you feel like that's too small, go back to Anim. Oh, it's over here. Nope, don't do that. I'll fix that in a second. Make this a little bit bigger. Bop, 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 bop. Sure. How many of you have noticed that the origin is over here, and that's annoying? Does anyone remember the hotkey to fix that origin?
It's D.
D for origin. I don't know why it's D. So if you hit D, you can change the origin point. I am still on snap to grid, which makes it quite convenient. Do you guys want to know how to snap to grid without having to hit snap to grid? Do you guys want to know how to do that? You guys want that trick? Ivan wants that trick. You want that trick? So if I hit D and I'm not on snap to grid, hit D. Select this, object mode. This will work for anything. If I hold down X, middle mouse click, snap to grid. And my plus sign doesn't have a middle point, so I got to kind of approximate it a little bit. And then make sure you hit D when you're done. Oh! D. There you go. Yes. D. There. Look at that. Wonderful.
Wait,
Look at
can
us.
you show that one more time?
How to change your origin?
Yeah.
Press D.
D.
Then that tool becomes movable. Put it in the middle where you like it to be, and then press D again to turn it off. So watch, I'll hit D. This one's not exactly in the middle. I'm going to hit D. Whoop! I don't want them for all of them. Hit D. I'm going to move that down. And this one, D. Move it down. Okay. The last thing you want is a circle in the middle of each of these, just like we drew. I'm going to start with the plus sign. So this time I don't have to draw a circle. I'm going to hit create. Just do a NURB circle. Don't do a square. Circle. Create NURB circle. Again, you could get fancy with it. You could draw things with the curve. You could get all. I see riggers go crazy on these parts. They're just bored and have too much time. A circle does great. So create circle. It's the wrong way, so we have to rotate it. So I'm going to hit E. I'm going to hold down J. Remember that trick? J will snap it. Hit W. Well, this, should I snap? Oh, I got to get it right in the middle. Okay, get a little bit bigger. Something like that. So I got a circle in the middle of that plus sign. If I like that circle, I'm going to duplicate that circle. And then I'm going to get a slightly smaller circle on this one over here. Duplicate. Oops. Command D. Oh, come on. Or do you know what? I'm going to have them outside the lines. I might get them mixed up. I'll make it smaller. you could really kind of make the handle however you want. Like if you want the handle to kind of be on top, like an actual like slider knob, like that's actually how they look to reflect reality. You can do that, or you can keep it on the inside. So now it looks like, oops. I got something like that. Yes.
So this is as far as I've got, and then I centered all their controls.
Perfect.
So what do I do now?
Create nerve circle. Create nerve circle. Make circles. Those are going to be your handles. Got a circle?
Save as.
Not yet.
Oh.
You can hit save. Save. Good. Yes.
My circles are originally supposed to be flat.
If you create them, they're flat here, and you got to rotate them 90 degrees facing us.
Did we group the circles in the?
We're getting there. Yes.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. We'll get there. All right, let's see. Let me check my list. What do I want to do? Let's see. Let's parent them next. Freeze transform next. I told you it's very technical. Today's a lot of click here, do this, click here, do this, click here, do this. Less artistry today. Ben, you got the circles?
Yeah, I'm just making the other two.
Let's name them and freeze transform them. We got to name them, freeze transform them, parent them, and then set bounding boxes for the circles. So remember when you parent something, you select the child first. Actually, let's name and freeze transform first. I'm getting ahead of myself. This one is your brow box. So this triangle, the triangle is your brow box. So select the triangle, and in your channel box, make sure you name it brow box. Every company you work for is going to have a different naming convention. Just start understanding that you'll have to learn what the naming convention is and do it. You want to rename stuff because eventually you have too much stuff in there. When you get to the outliner, you'll be like, what? You have to name all these, right? You got to make everything aware. So, brow box, brow handle. Someone's going to say it's not a box, it's a triangle. Yeah, whatever it is. Brow handle. Let's do the plus sign for the mouth, the double. I call this the double. The double is going to be the eyes. So this is going to be, I'm going to call this one mouth box. And if you want to call it mouth plus, because it's a plus sign, that's fine. It's still going to be a boundary indicator. And then this is mouth handle. One more time. Let's call this one the blink box, and let's call this one the eyes box. So this one I'm going to call the blink box because this one's going to be closed and wide open. And then this one I'm going to call the emotion. I'll call the eye box because that'll be my angry and my sad, my droop and my grimace. Right? So once again, I haven't finished naming mine, but triangle was called a brow box and a brow handle. Mouth box, mouth handle. And then the two rectangles are going to be for the eyes. And I don't care what you name them. You should just name them. right? You can call it poop, and then fart, and then barf, right? Sorry to be crude. Right? You can call them whatever you want if they're corresponding to you. Just call them something. I mean, it's nice. It's nice to call them by something you know. Yeah. Ben.
So I have the circles. Am I supposed to rename, or was there stuff?
Rename. Yep, rename. We haven't done the other steps.
Are all the shapes named the same, or like the circles, the rectangles named the same, or are they named separate?
It's always a box and a handle. So for me, brow box, mouth box, blink box, eye box. So this one is blink box, and this one is eye box. And then here, and then these are all handles. So brow handle, mouth handle, and this one is blink handle. And then what do I call this one? Eye handle.
But since there's two of them, are they like 1 and 2?
Well, this was going to be blink and nothing else. Blink and open. So I know that has to do with opening and closing. So blink is implied that it's with the eyes. So I know. And then the other one is the eyes, and that's all I got. So I'm limited, right? Again, you're slightly different. You want to call it something different, go for it. Riley, did you have a hand up?
No,
Right.
I'm just stretching.
Stretching. You know, movies are ruined for me. Have I shared that story with this class? I sit there in a movie theater and someone stretches, and I'm like, oh, they have a question. Like I'm watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Someone stretches because it's a long movie. I see their hand go up. I'm like, oh, I can answer a question about the multiverse. I instantly lock in on that raised hand and think they have a question. Movies are ruined. Thank God for stadium seating. That hides it a lot more. But for a while, it made it hard.
So the plus is the mouth control?
Yeah.
I like a funny plot where, like, you're like a crowd of people, just watching a movie, and you know, one person just stretching out the guy.
And,
Like, hey, you have a question?
and I stand up and go in the front of the lecture. Yeah, I turn into a lecture. I can talk about the types of shots. All right, let's freeze transform. So don't delete by type history on your face. Don't freeze transform your face. But for these guys, all the handles, modify, freeze transform. That'll be nice. Everything's be 0.
Was there a parent?
Well, we haven't done that yet. We're about to. Yeah. Do you guys like it when I say stuff we're going to do? Do you like getting sneak previews, or does that confuse you? I've confused Ben. Freeze transform. We're going to get there. That's the next thing. And I almost said let's parent first, and then I wanted to name and transfer. I almost did say let's parent, and I stopped myself. You can go back to the tape and review it. I did say it. All right, freeze transform gets everything back to 0. It's going to be quite handy in a second. Let's delete by type history just to be nice. Edit, delete. Don't do all. Make sure you do regular. Delete by type history, just to kind of have it cleaned up a little bit. I forgot to hit delete by type history on my smiley face here, and I got all that crap down here. Delete by type history has all this, keeps all that stuff in your thing, and meh. But don't do it now because it'll get rid of all your blend shapes. Okay.
So wait, what?
Select all the handles.
Uh-huh.
Modify freeze transformation.
Uh-huh.
Edit, delete by type history. Don't do all. Do delete by type history.
Okay.
If I do all, I ruin my blend shapes on my face. I had a student do that, and I was like, no. We had to go back to a save as. We had to Okay. All right. Last thing. We want to parent each handle to each box. Panel each handle to each box. So I'm going to grab this circle, handle, shift select that bounding box, and press P. I know I did it right. Where the box goes, the handle goes. If I click on the box, the handle goes somewhere. If I click on the handle, the box goes nowhere. That's what I want. So to repeat, select the child first. The circle is always the child. The box is always the parent. And you press P. Just plain old P.
So
Not Command P, not Shift P.
box, then the circle.
No! Circle then box. Circle then box. So child is the child is the circle.
So
The parent is the box, P. So the parent will be green, the child will be white. Child, parent, P. You can test it. If I click on the box, does the circle go with the box? It does. If you had a rig, you could do something like this. You could create another EP curve or something. If this is an actual rig, don't do this right now. Right? You could do something like that. Don't do this. I'm just saying what you could do later in life. And then you have these three things parented to this circle or whatever shape you make, and then you have that shape parented to the spine or the head. Excuse me, the head joint. But we're not going to do that. That would be next level. Ben, do you do that in the rigging class? Do you do all that in the rigging class?
Creating nerves and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you parent it to the head joint or the
Yeah.
top? Yeah. Do you do a bounding NURB for all of the controls to sit in?
You mean like a global?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the handles. Not for the good. I'm still doing it right. Okay. I was going to give a break. Do you guys want to power through? Power through? We're actually pretty close. And then you're going to keyframe to animate, and then our lesson's over today. So we've frozen transformations. We've parented. Let me just go through my list here. We've parented. We've frozen transformations. We rename them, and we haven't set the limits yet. I'm going to hit save. Don't have to hit save as yet. Okay, the fun trick, the limits. Now, I called this a box. We're not going to get extra fancy and make it only travel within the plus. We're not going to do that. We're not getting extra fancy and making it travel within the box. That makes our lecture 4 hours instead of, I can't remember actually how to do that here. We're just going to do the illusion of it being tethered to the box in some way, shape, or form. So we're creating an illusion here. So you're going to repeat this with every single circle. So I'm going to start with that one right there. This works better. What? Did I not rename it? I didn't rename it. I must have undid. I want to call this. What do I want to call this? I want to call this. This is brow handle. Brow handle. All right. Brow handle. Brow box. Okay. Select the brow handle. Go to your attribute editor. Go to your attribute editor. Let's go over here. Yes. Go to your attribute editor. There it is. You have two tabs. You have brow handle shape and brow handle. Click on brow handle. So brow handle. So click on any one of the handles. I'm going to start with my brow. I'm going to hit my attribute editor, hit my brow handle tab, and there's this thing here that says limit information. Limit information. And it's always going to, because it's parented to the bounding box, the limit information I give to that handle will always be just in relation to its parent. So I don't have to worry about it traveling across the scene because this parent is going to override whatever limit information I put on there, right? So select this. That's a long story. I'm just saying select the handle, don't worry about it. And there's a little triangle here that says, they call these carrots. Click on that little carrot or triangle, limit information. You might have done this with rotations for your rigs in other classes, but we're going to do translate. And what I'm going to do is, it's set at 0 because we froze our transformations. If this isn't 0, you didn't freeze your transformation. That makes your life so much easier. Okay? So now I'm just going to pull this up. Right about there. 4 units up. So I've moved that 4 units up. That's in the Y direction. I send that information over to the right. Boop. The max limit for my circle there is 4. It could be whatever you want. If you want it to poke outside the box. Ooh, do I have 2 circles? I have 2 circles. That's what happened. Give me 1 second. Are they both? They're both selected. Brow handle shape 1. Good to know. Anything else tricky in there? Okay. I duplicated a circle and forgot about it. Whew. That would have been confusing. All right. So that would have thrown me through a loop later. So I'm going to take this handle, pull it up. If you pull it up that high, that's fine too. The bounding box is really a reference. So you could trap it in the box, or you could trap it wherever you want. It's really a reference. So I'm going to keep it in the box here. So that was 4, right? 4. Send it over to the right. Hit max. So the furthest this can go up is 4 from the origin point. Right?
So
Then I'm going to.
I tried it, but for some reason when I checked the box, it set it back to 0.
Did you send it over to the right first? Don't check the box first. Send it to the right first and then check the box. Watch. Because watch. If I pull it down, you don't need to pull it down. But see how it's past -1? But if I turn on this on, that should jump. Let's see what happens. Boop. It jumped. Right?
Yeah,
so
I'm at 15, which is the max within my box. And when I check the box at the far right, it just sets it back to 0.
I'll be right there. Are you in transform or are you in limit? There's a transform here. You don't want to be there. And there's a lot of places you want to make limit, translate. And for me, I did my Y. This is my Y. Mm-hmm. And now when I move it up and down, it can't go up and down past those points. Let me finish the X, and then and then I'll come float around it again. Because I see 2 other hands up. Same thing for the right. So I'm going to grab the arrow on the right. I'm going to pull it to the right. Let's say there. And then let's just make it 4. Let's just make it 4 all around. 4. Send it to the right first. Oops. Send it to the right. Check on the max. And then I know it's going to be -4, so I can just type in -4. For my trans limit Z, I can make both of those 0. 0 and 0. So now, no matter what I do, it stays in the box, or stays stuck in this box. It's always going to be a box. We're always just going to translate it within an X and a Z component. So even though I've made this triangle just alludes that I have 3 parameters, but I can put in this combination of any of those 3. Does that make sense? All right. Repeat with the other 2 while I help diagnose other people. You're always going to, for all 3 of the handles, all 3 handles, the Z is always going to be limited to 0. 0 and 0. Okay? Are they all the same? Oh! Can I do all 3 at once? I'm not sure. Can I send that all to max out at 5? And can I hit this to max out at -5? Oh, I got a double handle there too. Is this one? Yep. Goodbye. Oh, and that one wasn't selected. Oh, I can only do one limit at a time. I can only do it on one handle at a time. Shoot. All right, so this guy, so you got to do it one at a time. You can't do multiple. All right, so this guy is Z's, and then 5, -5. And then my X on these vertical rectangles, again, that's 0 and 0. I don't want them going anywhere. So give yourself a lock on all 3 translations. And so now, whoop, whoop, it's stuck on that box. I'm bummed. I can't do 5, -5. Whoop. -5. 0. 0. X 0. The +1 takes the longest amount of work. Do I have duplicates for everything? I have duplicates for everything. All right. So let's see. Up will be 5. So once again, bump, 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 bump. So you can do it, if you kind of know, you can kind of guess. Z's are 0. My Y's are -5. My X is -5 and 5. Perfect. And lastly, I haven't said the one. This is going to be here. That's 5 and -5. 5, -5, 0, 0, 0, 0. One second. 0 and 0. We're all good. I'm going to help others if you want to take a quick break. Let's take a 10-minute break while I get everyone squared away. So you want stuff like this? You want locks and limits on your tribute? We'll take a break. But we're almost done.